Have you ever wondered how ordinary people can transform into extraordinary earners, seemingly overnight? You might think it takes special talent or secret connections, but the truth, according to Jim Rohn, is far simpler and far more powerful. Jim Rohn, the legendary motivational speaker who mentored some of today's wealthiest and most successful individuals, believed that anyone, yes, anyone, could multiply their earnings dramatically. The difference, he explained, isn't luck or background. It comes down to adopting a handful of powerful habits and shifting your mindset in ways most people never even consider. And I'm Walt. Today, we're unpacking Jim Rohn's method for turning everyday people into exceptional earners. If you're ready to learn these transformative insights, keep listening, because the first shift alone could completely redefine your financial future. Here's the first essential idea. Ordinary people see earnings as a direct trade for time. Extraordinary earners, however, understand that true wealth isn't created by trading hours for dollars. Jim taught that your income will rarely surpass your level of personal development. Sounds simple, right? But here's the twist. Most people never prioritize growing their skills, habits, and mindset. They stay stuck, frustrated that their income never changes. So how do you break this cycle and actually boost your income to extraordinary levels? Jim insisted on one thing above all: investing in yourself daily. It doesn't need to be complicated or expensive. In fact, Jim believed just 30 minutes of focused learning each day, reading books, listening to valuable podcasts, or practicing new skills, could eventually multiply your earning potential exponentially. But you might wonder, is 30 minutes really enough to change your financial future? Here's the surprising part. It's not just about accumulating knowledge. It's about changing your internal belief system and how you see yourself. Ordinary earners stay ordinary because deep down, they don't truly believe they deserve more. Extraordinary earners, on the other hand, cultivate a rock-solid belief in their ability to achieve great things. Think about it. How often have you doubted your potential, settling for less because you didn't see yourself as someone who could command higher earnings? Jim's technique addresses this head-on. He taught that once you begin to change your beliefs about what's possible, your actions automatically shift to match those new beliefs. And suddenly, you're capable of earning far more than you ever thought possible. If changing your beliefs sounds daunting, don't worry. Jim Rohn had a simple yet powerful way to kickstart this mental shift. He recommended consistently visualizing yourself as already successful. It might sound overly simple, but this practice rewires your subconscious mind. Your brain begins to see your goals not just as possibilities, but as inevitabilities. You naturally start taking actions aligned in with higher income and success. Now here's a critical question for you. What's the single most important factor that separates extraordinary earners from everyone else? The answer is not their skills or their knowledge, though both are important. According to Jim, it's their ability to leverage the power of relationships. Yes, relationships. This might surprise you because it seems less tangible than skills or knowledge. But here's the twist. Your network directly determines your net worth. Jim explained this brilliantly. If you spend most of your time around people who are content with mediocrity, you'll unconsciously adopt their limitations. But if you actively seek out and build connections with ambitious, driven individuals who push your thinking higher, your potential skyrockets. Imagine this scenario. You're consistently interacting with people earning double, triple, or even 10 times what you currently make. Do you think your beliefs and actions would remain unchanged? Of course not. Jim argued that simply placing yourself in high-value networks is one of the fastest, most effective ways to transform your earning potential. But how exactly do you build these powerful relationships if you're currently stuck in circles that don't reflect your desired future? That's where Jim's next idea comes in, and this one might just be the most impactful of all. Jim Rohn believes strongly in the power of mentorship. Finding a mentor who's already achieved what you're aiming for can dramatically accelerate your progress. Mentors help you avoid common pitfalls, see opportunities you'd otherwise miss, and shorten your path to extraordinary success. But here's the challenge. How do you find a mentor, especially if you're starting from scratch, or don't currently have the right connections? The answer Jim gives is surprisingly practical and accessible to anyone. It's something you can start doing today, no matter your current situation. Curious what that method is? You're about to discover the easiest yet most powerful strategy Jim Rohn recommended for turning ordinary relationships into extraordinary earning opportunities. And trust me, once you hear it, you'll wonder why you haven't been doing it all along. Get ready, because the next insight could be exactly what you've been missing in your journey to exceptional wealth. Here's the key insight Jim Rohn shared. To attract powerful mentors and build relationships that amplify your earning potential, you must first become genuinely valuable to others. Now you might ask, how exactly do you become valuable, especially to someone far ahead of you, financially and professionally? Jim provided a brilliantly simple yet powerful formula. Master one specific skill or area of knowledge that's valuable to successful people. Whether it's marketing, sales, communication, or even a deep understanding of technology or trends, specializing in something relevant and useful instantly makes you someone worth knowing. Think of it this way. Extraordinary earners are always looking for people who can help them achieve their goals more effectively. If you position yourself as someone who can contribute meaningful insights, ideas, or skills, your value skyrockets. You move from being an ordinary acquaintance to someone genuinely useful, someone they actively want in their network. This might seem counterintuitive at first, especially if you're thinking, I'm the one who needs help. How could I possibly help someone already successful? But here's the twist. Everyone, even the most successful people, needs help. They're always seeking fresh ideas, new perspectives, and effective solutions. By becoming valuable, you become irresistible. And you don't just enter their circle, you become indispensable within it. Now here's another critical Jim Rohn insight that's closely tied to becoming valuable. Extraordinary earners understand that wealth isn't built overnight. It's built through consistent daily disciplines. While ordinary people chase quick wins and shortcuts, extraordinary earners patiently stack small wins, knowing they'll eventually compound into massive success. Think about your own habits for a moment. Are your daily routines setting you up for future wealth, or are they subtly sabotaging your progress? Jim famously said, "Success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day." And those small daily choices, like reading, networking, investing in yourself, and constantly expanding your skills, are what truly separate ordinary earners from extraordinary ones. But here's the big question. What's one daily discipline that Jim considered absolutely essential? Something that, if you consistently practiced it, would virtually guarantee extraordinary results. The answer might surprise you because it's incredibly straightforward, yet often overlooked. According to Jim, it's setting clear, measurable goals every single day. Not just vague wishes like earn more money, but crystal clear targets with deadlines and specific outcomes. Why is this so powerful? Because clear daily goals force you to take intentional action. They keep you focused, accountable, and aligned with your larger vision. When you consistently set and achieve these micro goals, your confidence grows exponentially. You begin seeing yourself not as an ordinary earner, but as someone capable of extraordinary results. And this psychological shift is precisely what turns ordinary people into extraordinary earners over time. By stacking small wins each day, your mind naturally adopts a new identity, one of success, abundance, and limitless potential. Soon, extraordinary income isn't just possible, it becomes inevitable. But hold on, there's one more critical Jim Rohn insight we can't overlook. The willingness to embrace failure as a stepping stone to extraordinary earnings. Jim believed that ordinary earners avoid failure at all costs, while extraordinary earners actively seek it out. Sounds strange, right? Why would anyone intentionally embrace failure? Here's the fascinating truth. Extraordinary earners see failure as feedback, not a final verdict. Every setback teaches invaluable lessons that accelerate growth and success, lessons ordinary earners miss entirely by playing it safe. Imagine if instead of avoiding failure, you saw it as your greatest ally. Imagine embracing setbacks as opportunities for explosive growth. How quickly would your results transform? Jim famously encouraged his students to fail faster because the quicker you learn what doesn't work, the faster you can discover what does. Now let me ask you something important. What if there was one final principle from Jim Rohn that, if you embraced it wholeheartedly, could amplify your income and wealth building potential more than all the others combined?